Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Life Upgrade podcast. I'm so happy to be here with you today. And we have a very special guest on the studio. He'll be telling us a lot. Kellan from Fluckiger. He is a coach. He focuses on helping people improve their life daily, help them live better life. And we're going to be diving in and talking about self-development and purpose and how we can better show up in life. Today's episode is going to be so powerful, and I can assure you of that. So if you stick around, you're going to learn a lot and your life will be upgraded. So let's get started. Okay, Kellan, I want to just say hi to everyone who will be listening and just give us a brief introduction about yourself, who you are and what you do, and how you're going to help everyone today develop themselves and connect with their purpose.
Thank you. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to you, first of all, because you're a special person. And the reason I know that is doing a podcast is a labor of love. It takes a lot of work, and your effort to do that is a beautiful thing. And I want to acknowledge your work in doing that and trying to help people. So that's the first thing I want to do. The second thing is a little about me. Yeah, I'm a coach. I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, in the frozen north. It's cold a lot of the time. Wow. My goal this year for 2022 is to reach and help 10 million people to discover, to develop, and then to serve with the divine gifts they have. Now, that might sound a little woo-woo, but my discovery is that when we truly discover a purpose, declare a purpose, and serve with all of our hearts, that the opportunities to make money and to make a difference just show up. And what I mean by that is, when I lived my life complaining and blaming and being angry at things that were happening around me, I wasn't very successful in either helping people or making money. When I changed to live in gratitude and look for opportunities to serve, places to make an impact and an income showed up everywhere. And so I've seen that in my own life and in the lives of those that I help.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. That means you helped, you are trying as much as possible to achieve your goals this year, helping a lot of people. And as God will do it, He has connected you with us with a life upgrade. And I believe through this podcast, you're going to help a lot more people across our country, across Africa. So we're talking about self-development and purpose. As a coach, I would love you to give us an insight on what you think about self-development first, then before we talk about purpose, because I believe that it's through development, and when we develop ourselves on a daily, that we stand a better chance of connecting with our purpose or knowing our purpose. So I would love you to give us a little insight on that.
I'd love to. And here's the development is first. And here's how I help clients do that. I help them create something I call a morning ritual or a morning routine. And it can be very simple, but it really focuses on that development of self. So I decided there are 4 areas in life, and you can divide them any way you want, but I picked 4. First is spiritual, then physical, then emotional, and mental. And I help clients develop a process. I try to get them to use 10 minutes for each of those pieces. So 10, 10, 10, and 10, that's 40 minutes, where intentionally, right first thing in the morning, you spend 10 minutes in whatever connects you spiritually. So however you perceive the higher power, God, Christ, Buddha, whatever it is, but intentionally spend 10 minutes in meditation or prayer. And doing that helps me, and I know it helps others that I've worked with, to develop intuition and to be guided about what things are important to do. The second 10 minutes is your body, my body. It's the container that we have that carries our energy, our spirit. And so even if you've got struggles, like I've got really bad eyes and I've had hearing aids for a long time, and we all have different things, but spending 10 minutes honoring your body, stretching, exercising, depending on what you can do, honors your body the best you can. The E is emotional, which I include all your relationships. So if you have a device like a phone or a computer, I spend 10 minutes sending messages of love, encouragement. The idea is to either nurture or repair or build a relationship. So that 10 minutes is spent just loving people that occur to me, or I look in my messenger or my telegraph or whatever and see who I need to love, and I send some messages. M is mental, and so I have either on my device or on the shelf books, and I read a chapter or two, so that by the time I've finished that ritual, I have touched all the areas of my life, and I have prepared myself to be of service. Now, when I do that, I notice a huge difference in days between when I do that and when I don't. When I don't do that preparation, I'm very reactive during the day. Things happen and I react to it, and the day doesn't go so well. When I do that preparation, I don't feel reactive. I feel creative. I feel in charge. I feel more capable of creating value. I feel more opportunity to create business or to serve those around me. And by doing that simple preparation, I have felt far more powerful. Now, the final thing about the preparation is this. I have found that to be so successful that I have grown my morning ritual from 40 minutes, like 10 minutes in each of those, to nearly 3 hours. And some people say, Kellan, how could you possibly spend that much time? You'd waste your whole day. What I find is that by spending a lot of time in that preparation, the things that I end up doing are way more productive, way more powerful, way more exactly right all the time. And so I find that more time there saves time and even creates time in my business and my personal life. And I'm not saying you need to go do 1,000,000 hours, but I am saying don't neglect this. Learning to love yourself and care for yourself is the key to finding both your purpose and creating value in the world.
Wow, that's really, really interesting. I learned a lot. Okay, like last year I was reading a book, The Miracle of the Morning, by L. Harold, and he talked about this, and it is something I've tried implementing in my life, and I've seen notable changes. If I spend 30 minutes in my day in my morning being very productive, I end up enjoying the day. I'm more productive, I'm more active during the day. So it's something that we all can relate with. But the problem most of us face, and challenges to face during our morning, is that we just don't want to get out of bed. We just feel so lazy when we think about work, when we think about businesses, when we think about the problems and the challenge of the day. We are tempted to just let me just while away this time. Let me just sleep extra 30 minutes on an hour. So what would you suggest for someone who is facing such issues? What solution or advice would you give?
So I have felt that too. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I can't get out of bed, etc. And there's two things that I've noticed. First is, in the beginning, before you start seeing the real value and experiencing the value, it is a struggle. And it's going to take some discipline and some choice. How I solve that is I go to bed earlier. So I end, if I were to watch television, I'm not much of a TV watcher, but whatever it is that you do, there is a trade. Our bodies need a certain amount of rest. So rather than trying to stay up later and force yourself to get up early, which is hard, go to bed early. And here's what I know. There was a study done at Harvard University that said that 1 hour of sleep before midnight is worth 2 hours after midnight. So trade, like go to bed a little earlier. I find it easier to get up. And even if you do that, you're going to need a little bit of discipline. But the beauty is, I noticed that when I started doing this morning thing, starting with 40 minutes regularly, it started producing benefits. I got more done. I felt happier, all that stuff. And then it's like, I don't want to miss that, because when I missed a day, it wasn't as good. And I'm like, okay, this is now becoming obvious. When I do this stuff, I have better days and it's more fun. Why would I miss that? And today, after years of doing this, I never miss it, even though my ritual is long, because I can't even imagine going into the day without doing that work so that I am the best that I can be today. So the discipline is required, and that some people define discipline as just reminding yourself what's important. If it's important to you to create impact in the world, to make money by being valuable and by serving, then you need a bit of that reminder or discipline to start. And after you do that, it becomes self-reinforcing. You're getting great benefits. Like if you eat something that's really good, you don't have to force yourself to eat it again. You got a benefit because it tasted good. This morning ritual can move from, oh, there's this hard thing I have to do, into, wow, there's this beautiful thing that I do that makes me feel so good, I wouldn't miss it. So that's how it changes.
Wow, that's really great, and that's wonderful. Okay, now I would love us to progress to our purpose. I know a couple of people who try to improve themselves daily. Maybe they might not follow the morning rituals, but they are maybe consistent in trying to read, trying to get as much information as they can get so they can make better choices and decisions. But they are still finding it difficult to walk by purpose, and distraction is still very imminent in their lives. Like they get distracted a lot. So if they want to chase something, it doesn't take a while before they get distracted and like, I'm trying to try something else. So what would you advise for someone who is trying to connect with their purpose in life?
That's a beautiful question, and I'm going to give you a surprising answer. Don't try so hard. And I don't mean don't find a purpose, but what I mean is sometimes people feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm not motivated because I don't know what my purpose is. And they act like it's going to come in a package, or that you're going to go dig it up in the yard and find it. Oh, I now have my purpose. Now I'm okay. I didn't get it like that. I found my purpose by doing things and that I wanted to do to help and, be of benefit. And gradually it occurred to me which things I was really good at and which things I enjoyed doing. And so I have 4 guidelines to help you find your purpose. Number 1, look for things that are service oriented, like the whole thing needs to be in the context of serving. We are made, our bodies are literally made to serve. We feel best when we are loving and serving others. So look for your purpose in the context of serving. Number 2, there are things that you're naturally good at. You know it. People come to you for that. You really enjoy doing it. So look for those things and ask yourself, how can I take this thing or things that I really enjoy doing and make people's lives better, happier, easier, and so forth? So look to your talents, look to things you like and enjoy doing. And then with number 1, in the context of serving others. Number 3 is look to your hardships, look to your adversity. Look to the struggles, because the struggles that I've had, and there have been many, I struggled for decades with depression. I've written a couple of books about it. look to your struggles, because the things you have struggled with have given you and gave me a special empathy, a special understanding, a special capability that will allow you to serve and bless the lives of others in your own unique way. So when you combine, number one, look for it in the context of serving. Number two, look to things you like to do and enjoy doing. And number three, make use, take advantage of the adversity and hardships that you have had, and ask yourself, what has this taught me that I can help others with? The fourth and last thing is, if you are spiritual, and I am, if you feel connected, then ask God, because God gave us all gifts. So ask and search in the context of humility and connection with the divine. So those are the four things that I would give you to be the frame around which you use to look for a purpose.
Wow, very interesting. I remember I did a podcast about purpose, and I brought in the concept of God, because He created us and He made us, so He knows our purpose. Even before we were born, He knew who we were going to be. So asking God and connecting with God for Him to give you the direction or take you the direction of your purpose is very important. But yet we have people who have been so distracted. They chase after money and they put money above purpose. I know you've seen those kind of people. They're not trying to solve any problem in life or help people or do anything that will be beneficial to the society or the environment. They just want to satisfy themselves, get more money, more wealth, more fame. So what would you advise on that? What would you really say concerning that particular problem?
Well, that particular problem I suffered with. So for many years, I struggled to prove myself by making money and by getting big, high positions. And I was successful. I made a lot of money. I had high positions. And it was not fulfilling. I ended up struggling with substance abuse, alcohol, drugs. I was miserable. I ruined relationships. And it was not fulfilling and not happy. And regardless of the fact that I achieved that, yay, and from the outside it looked like I had everything, I was miserable. It even got to the point where I attempted suicide. So I can promise you that sacrificing purpose to make money will not make you happy. I can also promise you that if you live into a purpose and love and serve, you will have enough of the physical needs of life. You may also get wealthy. I don't know. But I do know that since I have changed, and I had a dramatic life change 14 years ago when I was 52. Like, I wasted most of my adult life until I was 52 chasing money and all that other stuff. I was unhappy and had all kinds of problems. Some dramatic event happened when I was 52, which is 14 years ago. I'm 66. That changed everything. And in the last 14 years, I haven't made anywhere near the kind of money I made before, but I'm a million times happier. And I certainly create enough wealth and prosperity to live on and to allow me to do more and more so that I can say, gee, this year I'm going to help 10 million people.
Wow, that's really interesting. Really, really interesting. From the personal story and from your experience, it kind of validates that chasing money will not really get you there. You will not really feel fulfilled at the end of your life. Now, we have a lot of people who have done this, who've spent a whole lot of their life chasing money, and they never feel fulfilled. They were never satisfied at the end of their life. Now, when we talk about chasing money and purpose, we come to a point where we need to put in some work to see our purpose manifest physically or become a reality. Now, I believe you've coached a lot of people, people who have purpose, people who want to change the world, who want to do something great. I would love you to just highlight some certain problems that those kind of people often face. People you've coached, people you've talked to, their challenges when trying to pursue after their purpose while also developing themselves.
So, are you talking about the struggles that people have when they're trying to fill their purpose?
Yeah. The struggles
cool.
they have when they're trying to fill their purpose.
You bet. So I experienced that too. And this is all part of our growth. God created us. He created us to have experience and to learn. So I don't want to even pretend to say that, gee, after you find your purpose, everything is smooth. You're going to suffer setbacks. I have. You're going to have people that don't like you. I do. You're going to have people that actively work against you. I do. So what I have discovered is if I spend my time trying to look for people outside of me to tell me I'm okay and to pat me on the head or like my social media, it's a waste of time. If you do the morning ritual and you connect with the divine as part of your daily process, you know when you're doing the right things, and that is your approval. So I needed to stop looking for approval outside and just keep on doing the things I thought was right, even when it was hard. So you're going to have times when you doubt your value. It's not working. I can't do this. Okay. If you can check. I've changed direction a few times and added things and dropped things. Life isn't supposed to be easy. It's a growth process. I don't think God designed it to be easy. In fact, I think he designed it to be hard. So if you just accept that, I have finally had to say, you know what? This is going to be hard. Yay. I'm going to lean into it and get all the growth I can out of it, because it doesn't do any good for me to complain. And so I quit complaining. I started leaning into the struggle and learning to love every day with my morning ritual. So you're going to get yelled at. You're going to get disrespected. And who cares? Do the thing you think is right. Love yourself. Create your connection with the divine and get after it.
Right. That's right. Wow, that's really powerful. I want us to talk about distraction, because I know that that's one of the enemy of our purpose. We may be in line with our purpose, taking that journey, walking through that road, but the distractions are just there to make us sway off that road or go through the wrong direction. So, and these are the challenges of many people, and distractions often come with the people around us. When people begin to tell you things like, it's not really working out for you, why not try this other way? It's not really going as planned. Are you sure it's going to make it? Look at someone that started yesterday, it's already big. So how do we deal with distractions, especially when we are trying to work with the journey of our purpose, to connect with our purpose?
So here's what I say. I say the more people around you are trying to get in your way or telling you you're doing the wrong thing, the more that's a symbol that you're doing what is right. If you start your day every day with your prayer and your devotion, and you're testing it with your feeling inside of rightness. Like, everybody is going to have people who don't agree. They're going to do that for several reasons. One, they don't have your vision. Two, often they are not the people who are doing morning rituals and trying to connect with purpose. You don't find very many people who are really trying to live purpose like you are, who are busy disrespecting you or pulling you down. In fact, most of the time it's people that are standing on the sidelines doing nothing. So don't pay attention to them. They don't even deserve to have an opinion. If someone who is really living into their purpose, doing well, and comes to you and offers you a suggestion, two things are going to be true. Number one, it's going to be very gentle and with the intent of loving and helping you. And two, it's going to be offered as a suggestion, not in any way tearing down what you're doing, because they recognize you are like they are, trying to live into purpose and serve and love. And so people that come in a negative way are almost always folks that are not trying hard to live the life you are. So don't pay them any mind. Now, as far as distractions are concerned, there's one other thing, and that is this. Nothing ever happens as fast as I want it to. Okay, so I go after stuff and I do things and it takes too flippin' long. And it's like, dang, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I should do this. And then some ad comes up online that says, magic way to get 1 million followers and make $1 zillion. And it's nonsense. There's no magic bullets. There's no magic tools. I absolutely believe in coaching. I have coaches and I have for years. It's been one of the best things to have. But coaching is a person who is committed to your growth, committed to love and support you, and is on your team. And they're not busy running around trying to sell you something so that they get wealthy. And so people that fashion themselves as ones that have all the answers usually don't, and usually are in it for themselves. So ignore people that aren't busy trying really hard to live their best life. You can just ignore them. Someone that comes to you with an idea that is really trying to do things like you are, pay attention, listen, have a conversation, and then in the end, do what feels right to you from a place of meditation and consideration, not a place of, oh dear, what if I'm doing it wrong? I screwed up. I got to find a new thing. That kind of energy is never a good place to make decisions from. There's going to be plenty of people who want your money and your time, and they're asking for it, not for your best interest and for your goals, but for theirs.
Wow, that's just in line with my thoughts. I am really, really, really happy you just giving us the truth and nothing but the truth. A lot of times, most people fall into the trap of other people who are trying to take their money at that time away, promising them things that they cannot fulfill. And when you go online, go on YouTube, you see a lot of advertisement, how to get money, how to make $1,000 in a day and stuff like that. Even when I try to talk to some people that this stuff don't really work, they are kind of resistant, like this my opportunity. They are trying to go through the shortcut or the short way to achieve their dreams. And actually, there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts, and we all have to pay the price to become who we want to be. Okay, speaking from experience, I would love you to just recommend some maybe additional materials, your books you've written, or something that will really help people listening to this podcast to really dive into this self-development and purpose of a team. What would you recommend?
So first of all, I want to thank you for asking that. I have many, many things that I do that don't cost anything because my commitment is to help as many people as I can. And some people aren't in a position to spend money. So I also have a podcast like you do. Mine is every day and it's short, 15 minutes, and it's called Your Ultimate Life. And I have about 650 episodes, and that's growing, of course, because one goes up every day or nearly every day. So a podcast titled Your Ultimate Life is a 15-minute daily boost to your confidence, your capability, and all kinds of suggestions about how you can live and create the life you want. So that's one thing. Another thing is I have a Facebook presence. I put a lot of stuff on Facebook in the same vein, coaching ideas, things to help people, to encourage them, and so forth. I'm really easy to find on Facebook because Kellan Fluckiger is a very unusual name. There are only 2 out of 8 billion people, and the other one is my son. So if you want to connect with me, it's really easy. I like to say I can't hide. If you want books, I've written 16 books. On Amazon has most of them. So Amazon, you can get books. Your Ultimate Life is a podcast. My Facebook page is full of nearly every day some kind of video or other thing that is aimed at helping. I don't put videos up that tell you how cool I am or all the stuff that I've got or anything like that, because that's not my goal. So there is a bunch of things that are free that I would love to have as many people as want that kind of help to get. If you want to get a hold of me, my website is my name, www.kellanfluckiger.com. You can get on my list or contact, and I'd be happy to talk with you, or through Facebook Messenger. So I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, that's really helpful. If you're listening to this podcast, some links will be in the description of this podcast. So just go over. You'll be able to connect with Kellan Fluckiger. It's a really wonderful name, and I know this name gave me a tough time at the beginning of this show. But all the same, he has been really helpful, and I know he has a lot of stuff that will really help develop your life and connect with your purpose and connect with the divine. Okay, the last thing I want to ask is just for general advice. What would you love to advise to give to people wherever place they are in life, even if they have found their purpose or not, those that are working by their purpose or not, those that are developing themselves or not? I just want to give a general advice.
The best thing that I could say
to everybody that's listening to this podcast.
I'm sorry, I started talking before you were done because you cut out. The best piece of advice I could give you is all self-growth begins with self-love. If you start out hating yourself or being really unhappy with yourself, it's really hard to do growth work. So learning to love yourself, to right like you are today, that doesn't mean you're not trying to work on things, but learning to love yourself as you are while you work on things is a fabulous first step. So don't be trying to change from a place of being negative or angry toward yourself or anyone else. Anger is not a good fuel for personal growth. Love is a good fuel for personal growth. So that's what I would say to everybody, regardless of where you are on the path.
Okay, that's so wonderful. That's great. Learning to love yourself, encourage yourself, and keep going. Do not walk by regret, and hopefully and surely you truly make a difference in the world. So Kellan, thank you so much for the value you provided. I'm so grateful for your presence. You've taught us a lot, and I'm happy about that. I'm really happy.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the work that you're doing and for everything that you're trying to do to add good to the world.
All right. If possible, I would love to have you again some other time if it's possible. Maybe we can fix an arrangement, talk about another topic. So that would be really, really cool. Okay, thank you so much, listeners, for listening. God bless you. We'll see you in the next episode.
Join us again next time when we will be back with more tips, techniques, and cheats to achieve the rewards that you deserve. Thank you so much for your time today. And please set your podcatcher so that you never, ever miss us. Bye for now. And thanks so much for listening.